In a small town, far from the chaos of the world, lived a girl named Mia. She had always been close to her best friend, Jake. They spent countless hours together, sharing secrets, laughing, and dreaming about the future. But everything changed. When Jake's family moved away to a big city, the day he left, Mia felt as if a piece of her heart had been taken from her. The weeks turned into months, and the distance between them grew. Mia often found herself staring at her phone, hoping for a message from Jake. She missed their long talks, and the way he always knew how to make her smile. Instead, she faced silence, which made her feel even lonelier. Mia wanted to reach out, but the thought of texting him made her feel small and unsure. What if he had forgotten her? What if he was too busy with his new life to care? One rainy afternoon, Mia sat by her window, watching the drops race down the glass. The sky was gray, matching her mood. She picked up her phone and scrolled through old pictures of her and Jake. In one photo, they were at the park, grinning from ear to ear, ice cream smeared on their faces. It was a happy memory, but it only deepened her sadness. She felt lost. Like a forgotten piece of a puzzle, Mia sighed and closed her eyes, imagining what it would be like if Jake were still there. She pictured them hanging out, laughing at their inside jokes, and planning adventures. Suddenly, an idea sparked in her mind. What if she wrote him a letter? A real letter, not just a text. She could pour out her feelings, tell him how much she missed him, and share all the things happening in her life. With renewed energy, Mia grabbed a piece of paper and a pen. She started to write, her thoughts flowing onto the page. "Dear Jake," she wrote, "I miss you so much. It feels like everything has changed since you moved. I wish we could talk like we used to." As she wrote, her heart felt lighter. She shared stories about school, the new friends she made, and how she often thought of their fun times together. After finishing the letter, Mia felt a rush of hope. It was a small step, but it made her feel connected to Jake again, even if he was miles away. She decided to send the letter to his new address, and the thought of him reading it filled her with excitement. What if he wrote back? What if he missed her too? Days passed, and Mia anxiously waited for a response. Each day felt longer than the last. She checked the mailbox every afternoon, hoping to see a letter from Jake. The waiting was hard, but it also made her realize how important their friendship was to her. No matter the distance, she wanted to keep their bond alive. Finally, one sunny morning, the mailbox held a surprise. There, nestled between the bills and ads, was an envelope with her name on it. Her heart raced as she ripped it open. Inside was a letter from Jake. Mia. It began, "I can't believe you wrote to me. I've missed you so much too." As she read his words, a smile spread across her face. He shared stories about his new school, the friends he was making, and how he often thought of their time together. Mia felt warmth spreading through her chest. Jake still cared. They were still connected, no matter the miles separating them. She realized that friendships can endure, even when life pulls people apart. Encouraged by his response, she decided to write back, this time with even more excitement. They exchanged letters regularly, each one bringing them closer, despite the distance. As time went on, Mia learned that it was okay to feel sad about Jake moving away. It didn't mean their friendship was over. Instead, it became a journey of rediscovery. They planned to meet during the summer, and the thought filled her with joy. She knew that their bond was strong enough to withstand any distance. In the end, Mia understood that even when things felt lost, hope could guide them back together. Just like the lost prototype of Earth in her favorite sci-fi movie that emerged to save the day, Mia and Jake's friendship could rise above the challenges of distance and time. With a heart full of hope and love, Mia felt ready to face whatever came next, knowing that true connections never truly fade away. As summer approached, Mia felt a mix of excitement and nervousness. She had been counting down the days until she could see Jake again. They had exchanged letters regularly, sharing stories about their lives, but nothing could replace the feeling of being together. The thought of their reunion filled her with hope, but also with fear. What if things were different? What if they had changed too much? Mia spent the days leading up to Jake's visit preparing for their time together. She wanted everything to be perfect. She made a list of all the places they used to go: the park, the ice cream shop, and the arcade. Each place held memories of laughter and friendship. She imagined them walking side by side, just like before, and it made her heart race. On the day of Jake's arrival, Mia woke up early, her stomach fluttering with anticipation. She dressed carefully, picking out her favorite shirt, the one that reminded her of their adventures. She wanted to look nice, hoping Jake would feel the same spark of friendship when he saw her again. She spent the morning pacing around her room, glancing out the window every few minutes, waiting for the moment she would see him. Finally, the doorbell rang. Mia jumped up, her heart pounding. She rushed to the door and swung it open, revealing Jake standing there, a bright smile on his face. He looked different. He was taller and had a new haircut, but his eyes were still the same. He sparkled with excitement. "Mia!" he exclaimed, stepping forward and pulling her into a hug. It felt warm and familiar, as if no time had passed at all. Mia wrapped her arms around him, feeling a wave of relief wash over her. They were together again, Jake. "I can't believe you're here," she said, pulling back to look at him. "I've missed you so much."
Me too, I've been...
"Looking forward to this all year," he replied, his enthusiasm infectious. They stood there for a moment, grinning at each other, both feeling the weight of distance lift away. They spent the day revisiting their favorite spots. At the park, they laughed as they swung on the swings, pushing each other higher and higher, just like they used to. They shared stories about their schools, their new friends, and all the little things that made them happy. Mia felt her heart swell with joy. It was as if no time had passed at all. Later, they walked to the ice cream shop, where they ordered their favorite flavors: chocolate chip, cookie dough for Mia, and mint chocolate chip for Jake. Sitting outside, they reminisced about the time they had a race to see who could finish their ice cream first. Jake had won that day, but Mia had sworn she would beat him next time. Maybe this time, she challenged, playfully sticking out her tongue. Jake laughed. "Bring it on." As they enjoyed their ice cream, Mia realized that, while many things had changed, their friendship had not. They were still the same people who cherished their time together. The distance that had once felt so daunting now seemed insignificant. In the evening, they decided to go to the arcade. The bright lights and sounds filled the air with energy. Mia felt a rush of excitement as they played their favorite games, competing against each other. She noticed that Jake was just as competitive as ever, and it made her smile. They cheered and laughed, forgetting about everything else. As the night wore on, Mia felt a sense of comfort wash over her. She knew that even though they lived far apart, their bond was unbreakable. They could always find a way back to each other, just like the lost prototype in her favorite story, which had transformed into a powerful force when it was needed most. Later, as they sat on a bench under the stars, Mia turned to Jake and said, "I was really worried we wouldn't be the same after you moved. I thought maybe we'd drift apart." Jake looked at her, his expression serious. "I felt that way too at first, but our friendship is too strong for that. No matter how far apart we are, I'll always care about you." Mia smiled, feeling warmth in her heart. "Me too. I'm so glad we're still friends." As they gazed up at the stars, Mia felt hope for the future. Their friendship was like a guiding light, showing her that even in times of distance and change, love and connection could conquer all. She knew they would always find a way back to each other, no matter the challenges ahead. In that moment, under the vast sky, Mia understood that while life might take them on different paths, the strength of their friendship would always bring them home. Just like Earth's lost prototype that had emerged to reclaim its place, Mia and Jake had found their way back together, ready to face whatever adventures awaited them next. After their joyful reunion, Mia and Jake spent the summer together making new memories. Each day was filled with laughter and adventure, but as the days passed, Mia couldn't shake the feeling that their time together was too short. She knew that soon Jake would have to return to the city, and the thought of losing him again made her heart ache. One evening, as they sat on the porch watching the sunset, Mia turned to Jake, her heart heavy. "I'm really glad you came back," she said quietly. "But I can't help but worry about what will happen when you go back home." Jake looked at her, his expression serious. "I've been thinking about that too. I don't want to lose what we have. Our friendship means a lot to me." Mia nodded, her eyes glistening with unshed tears. "I just feel like it's so hard to stay connected when you're far away. What if we end up drifting apart again?" Jake took a deep breath, looking thoughtful. "I think we can find a way to make it work. We just have to be creative about it." He paused, a smile creeping onto his face. "Just like in the movies, we can be like heroes on a mission to stay connected." Mia couldn't help but giggle. "Yeah, we can be like those characters who fight against all odds to protect their friendships." "Exactly," Jake said, his eyes sparkling. "Let's come up with a plan. We can set specific days to talk, maybe even have virtual game nights or movie nights. We could write letters like we did before, too." Mia's heart lifted at the idea. "That sounds great. I really loved writing to you. It felt special." As they talked, Mia felt a renewed sense of hope. They could face the challenge of distance. Together, just like the heroes in her favorite stories, they made a pact to stay connected no matter what. They would be like the lost prototype, ready to fight against any force that threatened their friendship. The next few weeks flew by in a blur of activities. They went to the beach, hiked in the nearby woods, and even had a picnic in the park. Each moment was precious, filled with laughter and joy. Yet as the day of Jake's departure approached, Mia felt the weight of sadness creeping back in. On the day Jake had to leave, Mia felt a knot in her stomach. They sat on the porch, the sun slowly rising, casting a warm glow over everything. She didn't want to say goodbye, but she knew it was inevitable. "I'll miss you so much," she said, trying to keep her voice steady. "It feels like we just got back to normal, and now you have to go." Jake nodded, looking just as sad. "I'll miss you too. But remember our plan? We'll stay in touch, and I promise we'll make it work. You're my best friend, and I'm not going to let distance change that." Tears filled Mia's eyes as she hugged him tightly. "You better keep your promise." "I will," he replied, squeezing her tightly. "When I come back for the holidays, we'll make new memories, okay?" "Okay," Mia said, pulling back to look at him, "and I'll hold you to that." As they waved goodbye, Mia felt a mixture of sadness and hope. She knew the distance would be hard, but they had a plan. They were determined to keep their friendship alive, just like the heroes who never gave up, even in the face of challenges. Once Jake was gone, Mia felt the silence of her home. It was quiet without him, and the days felt long. But she remembered their promise. She took out her notebook and began to write him a letter. "Dear Jake," she started, her heart feeling lighter as she wrote. She shared everything that had happened since he left, filling the pages with her thoughts and feelings. Writing made her feel connected to him, as if he were sitting right next to her. They kept their virtual game nights playing their favorite games online, laughing and joking as if they were together. Each time they talked, Mia felt their bond grow stronger. Jake's laughter echoed in her mind, and she realized that distance could not break their connection. As the months passed, Mia learned that friendships could withstand time and space. She began to feel empowered like the heroes from her stories. Even though they were apart, she was determined to keep their friendship alive, no matter the distance. In her heart, Mia knew that like the lost prototype in her favorite story once, forgotten but now a powerful force, they could overcome any obstacle together. Their friendship was worth fighting for, and with hope in her heart, she felt ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. As autumn approached, Mia settled into a new routine without Jake. Their virtual game nights became a regular part of her week, and each time they logged in, Mia felt a rush of joy. However, despite these moments of laughter, there was a lingering sadness in her heart. It was hard to shake the feeling of distance that separated them, even when they were connected through screens. One chilly evening, Mia sat at her desk, staring at her computer. Jake had not been online for a few days, and she felt a wave of worry wash over her. Had something happened? Did he forget about her? The questions swirled in her mind, making her heart feel heavy. She remembered their promise to stay connected, but without hearing from him. It felt like a challenge. Mia decided to send Jake a message. "Hey, just checking in. I hope everything is okay. I miss you."
After
Hitting send, she felt a bit better, but also anxious. She wanted to know he was all right, but what if he didn't respond? The next day, Mia received a reply. "Hey, Mia. Sorry for being Mia. School has been really busy. I miss you too. Let's catch up this weekend." Relief flooded through her. She was glad to hear from him and knew they would have a chance to reconnect as the weekend approached. Mia prepared for their call. She thought about everything she wanted to share with Jake. She had been working on a new art project and was excited to show it to him. It was a mural she painted in her room, filled with colors and images that represented their friendship. Each part of the mural held a memory, from their fun times at the beach to the silly moments they had shared. When the time for their call arrived, Mia felt butterflies in her stomach. She logged in and waited eagerly. Moments later, Jake's face appeared on the screen, a smile spreading across his face. "Mia, you look great. Thanks. You too." She replied, feeling her worries fade away. They chatted about school, and Mia shared stories about her art project. "I want to show you something," she said, turning her camera to show the mural on her wall. "This is our friendship. Each part of it has a story." Jake's eyes widened and a grin spread across his face. "Wow, Mia, this is amazing. I love it. You really captured our memories." As they talked, Mia felt a warm glow in her heart. They laughed and reminisced, recalling their favorite moments together. With each story, the distance between them felt smaller. It was as if they were sitting in the same room, just like old times. They could still connect, even through a screen. However, as the call went on, Mia noticed Jake seemed distracted. He was shifting in his seat, and his smile didn't seem as bright. "Is everything okay?" she asked, concerned. Jake sighed. "Yeah, it's just... school is really stressful right now. I'm trying to keep up, but it's overwhelming sometimes. I miss hanging out like we used to." Mia's heart ached for him. "I understand. I feel the same way. It's hard not being together. But we can still support each other even if we're far apart. We can be each other's team, like superheroes." Jake chuckled softly. "You're right. We're like the lost prototype, figuring things out together. We just have to remember that we're in this together." Mia felt a spark of hope. "Exactly. We can tackle anything. How about we set up a weekly schedule to talk? We can talk about school, share our art, or even play games together." "That sounds perfect," Jake replied, his smile returning. "I'd love to do that. It'll give us something to look forward to." As they continued to talk, Mia felt more connected to Jake than ever. They shared their worries and dreams, finding comfort in each other's words. Mia felt grateful for their friendship and the promise they made to stay connected. As the call ended, Mia reflected on how far they had come. Even though they were separated by distance, their bond was strong. They had faced challenges together and found ways to overcome them, just like the heroes in her favorite stories. With a heart full of hope, Mia realized that distance could not break their friendship. They were like the lost prototype that had emerged to reclaim its place, proving that they could conquer any challenge together. As she closed her laptop, Mia felt a renewed sense of determination. No matter the distance, she would always fight for her friendship with Jake, knowing that together, they could face anything life threw at them. As the leaves began to change color and fall from the trees, Mia felt a sense of nostalgia. Autumn had always been her favorite season, but this year felt different. Jake had gone back home, and while their weekly calls helped, Mia still felt a void in her heart. Each day without him seemed longer, and she missed the comfort of his presence. One afternoon, while sitting at her desk, Mia noticed a picture of them at the beach pinned to her wall. They were both laughing, the sun shining brightly on their faces. That day had been filled with joy, and she wished she could relive it. Suddenly, an idea struck her. Instead of waiting for Jake to come back, why not plan a visit to him? She could surprise him and show him how much their friendship meant. Into her, Mia grabbed her phone and began searching for tickets to the city where Jake now lived. She felt a rush of excitement as she imagined the look on his face when he saw her. but then doubt crept in. What if Jake was too busy with school? What if he didn't want her to visit? She hesitated, staring at the screen. After some deep breaths, Mia remembered their talks about being brave and facing challenges together. They often joked about being heroes, fighting against the odds to protect their friendship. She picked up her pen and wrote down her thoughts. Dear Jake, I haven't idea. I want to visit you for a weekend. It'll be like old times. Let's make new memories together. Once she finished her letter, she sent it to Jake right away. The anticipation filled her with nervous energy. Would he be excited? Would he agree? She waited patiently for his response, her heart racing. The next day, she received a message. Mia, I can't believe you want to visit. That would be amazing. I'd love to show you around my new city. Just let me know when you're coming. Mia's heart soared. She quickly booked her tickets and made plans for the weekend. As the days grew closer, her excitement turned into a mix of happiness and nervousness. What if things felt different? What if they didn't connect like they used to? But deep down, she believed in their friendship and the bond they shared. Finally, the day arrived. Mia packed her bag with care, bringing along a few small gifts for Jake's of his favorite. Snacks and a framed photo of them from the beach. She felt a flutter of anticipation in her stomach as she boarded the bus to the city. When she arrived, everything felt new and different. The tall buildings and busy streets were overwhelming, but she focused on the excitement of seeing Jake. After a short taxi ride, she stood in front of his apartment building. Taking a deep breath, she texted him, "I'm outside. Surprise." Moments later, the door swung open, and there stood Jake, his eyes wide with shock and joy. "Mia, you made it." He rushed forward to hug her tightly, lifting her off the ground. Mia laughed, feeling the warmth of his embrace wash over her. "I couldn't wait to see you," she exclaimed, her heart full. Together, they explored the city, visiting parks, cafes, and shops. Mia loved seeing Jake in his new environment, and he shared stories of his life there. They laughed, reminisced, and created new memories. It felt like they had never been apart. As they walked through a beautiful park, Mia turned to Jake, her heart full. "I'm so glad I came. I missed you so much, and I was worried we wouldn't be as close anymore." Jake smiled, his eyes shining. "I was worried too, but this weekend shows me that our friendship is strong. We can always find a way back to each other, no matter the distance." Mia nodded, feeling a wave of relief and happiness. "You're right. Just like the lost prototype in my favorite story, we can overcome anything together." Later that evening, they sat on a bench watching the sunset. The sky was painted with shades of orange and pink, creating a perfect backdrop for their moment. Mia felt grateful for their friendship and the courage it took to reconnect. As the stars began to twinkle in the night sky, Mia realized that distance could never diminish their bond. They were like heroes in their own story, fighting for their friendship against the odds. With hope in her heart, she knew they could face any challenge ahead together, no matter where life took them. On the way back to Jake's apartment, Mia felt lighter than she had in months. She was filled with a sense of purpose, knowing that their friendship was worth every effort. No matter how far apart they were, Mia was ready to fight for their connection, just like the heroes they admired. And with that hope guiding her, she felt ready for whatever adventures lay ahead. After a wonderful weekend together, Mia returned home feeling uplifted and full of hope. Seeing Jake again had reminded her of the strength of their friendship. They had shared laughter, stories, and new experiences, and she felt more connected to him than ever. Yet, as the days went by, the familiar feeling of distance began to creep back into her heart. Mia missed Jake. She missed his laughter, the way he made her feel understood, and the sense of adventure they shared. Even though they spoke regularly on video calls, something about being apart made her sad. She often found herself staring at the photos from their weekend together, wishing they could have more moments like those. One evening, while sitting at her desk and looking out the window, Mia had an idea. After a wonderful weekend together, Mia returned home feeling uplifted and full of hope. Seeing Jake again had reminded her of the strength of their friendship. They had shared laughter, stories, and new experiences, and she felt more connected to him than ever. Yet as the days went by, the familiar feeling of distance began to creep back into her heart. Mia missed Jake. She missed his laughter, the way he made her feel understood, and the sense of adventure they shared. Even though they spoke regularly on video calls, something about being apart made her sad. She often found herself staring at the photos from their weekend together, wishing they could have more moments like those. One evening, while sitting at her desk and looking out the window, Mia had an idea. After a wonderful weekend together, Mia returned home feeling uplifted and full of hope. Seeing Jake again had reminded her of the strength of their friendship. They had shared laughter, stories, and new experiences, and she felt more connected to him than ever. Yet as the days went by, the familiar feeling of distance began to creep back into her heart. Mia missed Jake. She missed his laughter, the way he made her feel understood, and the sense of adventure they shared. Even though they spoke regularly on video calls, something about being apart made her sad. She often found herself staring at the photos from their weekend together, wishing they could have more moments like those. One evening, while sitting at her desk and looking out the window, Mia had an idea. As Mia lay in bed that night, she thought about everything she had experienced with Jake. The weekend visit had been incredible, but now that they were back to their normal lives, she felt the distance more than ever. She remembered their promise to stay connected, but it was hard not to feel lonely when he wasn't right there by her side. The next day, Mia decided to take action. She knew she couldn't let the distance win. She grabbed her notebook and began writing down all the things she loved about their friendship. She wrote about their inside jokes, the fun adventures they shared, and how they always supported each other. As she wrote, a sense of determination filled her heart, Mia thought. If they could be heroes in their story, they could find a way to be close again. Inspired, she decided to plan something special. She would organize a surprise virtual event. For Jake, they could invite some of their old friends from school and have a big online gathering. It would be like a mini reunion. It could help everyone feel more connected. Mia spent the next few days reaching out to their mutual friends, telling them about her idea. Everyone was excited and eager to join in. They decided to have a virtual game night combined with a movie watch party, complete with popcorn and snacks. Mia felt a wave of happiness as she saw her friends rallying around the plan. It reminded her of the strength of their community. Even if they were scattered across different places, as the day of the event approached, Mia felt nervous. What if Jake didn't want to join? What if he was too busy with school? But deep down, she remembered their promise to be there for each other. They had faced challenges together before, and this would be another test of their friendship. Finally, the night of the event arrived. Mia logged into the video call, her heart racing with anticipation. One by one, their friends joined the call, each one bringing a smile and a wave. When Jake finally appeared on the screen, Mia felt her heart swell with joy. He looked surprised and happy to see everyone. "Wow, Mia, this is amazing," Jake exclaimed, his eyes lighting up as he saw their friends. "I can't believe you organized this." "I wanted us to feel connected," Mia replied, feeling proud. "We may be far apart, but we're still a team." The night was filled with laughter and joy. They played games, sharing inside jokes and stories that made them all feel closer. Mia watched as Jake laughed and interacted with their friends, and she felt a warmth in her heart. It was as if the distance between them had vanished, if only for a little while. After the games, they settled down to watch a movie together. Mia felt a sense of peace as she sat in her room, surrounded by her friends. Even if they were just on a screen, the movie played, but she found herself stealing glances at Jake. He seemed genuinely happy, and that made her heart soar. As the night came to an end, everyone said their goodbyes, and Mia felt a sense of accomplishment. She had brought everyone together, and it reminded her that friendships could survive distance. Jake stayed on the call a little longer, just the two of them. That was awesome. "Mia, thank you for organizing everything," he said, smile brightening the screen. "I'm just glad we could all be together," she replied. "It felt like old times." "It did. We'll always find a way back to each other, won't we?" Jake asked, his voice filled with sincerity. "Yes, we will," Mia said, feeling a surge of hope. "No matter what happens, we'll always be friends." As they ended the call, Mia felt a renewed sense of purpose. They were like the lost prototype that had returned to reclaim its place, proving that they could overcome any obstacle together. Even though they lived far apart, their bond was unbreakable, with hope in her heart. Mia lay in bed that night, feeling grateful for her friends and the connection they shared. She knew that as long as they fought for their friendship, it would thrive, no matter the distance. She smiled to herself, knowing that their story was just beginning, and she was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, side by side with Jake and their friends.